Hello and welcome to this little computing lesson all about the ancient Greeks. So what I've done this time is I've added a Greek vase, or the outline of a Greek vase. So what we can do is, if we go back to look at the coding on the button will take us to a different background. So let's just click on the button. So there's a sort of Greek theatre, a Greek ruin, some characters in history, a grid to allow us to work out where to move the characters to, and that's the one I want. Now I can actually move this Greek urn to where I want, so I'll just put it over there. Now the first thing you can do is change the size. So clearly it's too big, but in this case I'm just going to leave it that size and change it afterwards because I want to perhaps decorate it. So what I'm going to do is stay clicked on the Greek vase and then go to the second tab across, and that says costumes. Now what we've got is a special colouring palette here. So I'm just going to show you how to do this to make it look as if the light is on one side of the vase. So on one side I'm going to make it very light. Let's assume it's sort of a brown colour. And then what I'm going to do is choose the second one across, not a solid fill. So what I want to do on this side, on the right side where it's pink, I want to make that dark brown. And hopefully now it'll sort of blend from one to the other when I click inside a shape. So let's just get that off. You can see it stored it at the top in the square. And now I need the paint palette, the paint pot, and I'm just going to click. There we go. So that's quite nice because it sort of looks three-dimensional. And then I'll do the same up there. Now the handles, I've got to be quite careful to click in the right place. There we go. And the base. Now if you want the base to be a different colour, you can just perhaps make that a solid colour, perhaps a very dark brown or nearly black actually. There we go. And that little bit there. And the top as well. Now if you go wrong, you can see I obviously didn't click in that little semicircle at the top. I can just do undo. Now it might be that it's so small that I can't quite do it, so I can sort of zoom in and then try it. There we go. Now you can see that because this is a sort of, we call it a pixelated image, or the fill is pixelated actually, we might need to go to a paintbrush. Now I'm not really going to bother to do this, but you might want to do this at home. So I'm just going to choose a tiny size 1, and I'm going to choose the pipette, which is bottom right on the color palette. And if I want to color over this area, I'm going to click on that, and that means when I go to the pen, I can actually use my finger. I'm on a tablet, or you could use the mouse and actually go over that. Now you can see it's very fiddly, and I've actually gone wrong, so I could do undo. So to be honest, when we make it smaller, it's not going to make much difference. So I'm not going to bother with that. So I'm just zooming out. But what I will do is I'll just decorate it with a little bit of gold. So I'm going to try and make it sort of yellowy and golden, if I can try and get sort of gold. And I'm going to make the pen thick again. So I'll make it 10. And I'm just going to use my finger on this tablet, but you could use the mouse, and I'm just going to put a bit of decoration on there. There we go. Now it's not particularly professional. Don't forget, if you're going around the middle, you've got to get it sort of so it goes down and back up to just give the impression that it's three-dimensional. Now I've hurried that, so I'm going to undo that. But what you'll notice is actually that's 100%. So I'm going to make it much smaller. So I'll just make it 20%. So that's a fifth of the size, a fifth of the width. and there it is there, and I can move that down to there. And then what I'll do in the next video is I'll get the person to walk towards it. I'll make the person a bit bigger, and then we could get it to actually move, or we could get the person to say something when it touched the Greek vase. So thanks for watching and enjoy the creativity. If you wanted to save this, you would have to create an account by clicking on Join Scratch, and then you would have to sign in. Notice, because I'm not signed in, if I refresh the page, it'll just go back to the beginning. So you would need to save it, sign in and save it if you want to show your teacher what you've done. Or you could just take a screen shot of what you've done. Thanks for watching.